Good evening everybody. Welcome to the 2017 Waitaki Boys First 15 dinner and prize giving. A special mention to those of you who have travelled from far to be with us today. And a special mention to the Rector and to Nikki later on, who will be joining us. Daryl, it's great to have you two here. Some housekeeping first of all. Toilets, if you don't know, are through those doors and to the left. If you haven't paid me already or paid the store office, please do so as soon as possible. I've got 3 of our team posters left over, $10 a pop. If you guys would like to, if there's any relations out there who don't have one, there's still 3 left. And a special mention to Sally Ann Donnelly, the one and only, for looking after us so well tonight. So this is the part where I claim it's going to be an informal and relaxed evening, but I hold up my several pages of planning and a timetable down to the final minute. And where I claim I won't be boring you for too long, and I proceed to ramble for 20 minutes. But I'm at the lectern, you have to listen to me, so you can't go anywhere. Tonight will be relaxed as possible, I promise, and I'll be as brief as possible. After I've rambled a little bit, you'll hear from our skipper, Paddy Henwood, and then we'll eat the main part of our meal. It'll be served just down to the left of the bar area there. We'll do it table by table, and either one of those two or me will advise which table goes first. Then we'll get some wise words from Hamish McKenzie, one of our coaches. Then hand out some awards. We'll finish the evening with dessert. So I thought being a manager of a rugby team was just basically about handing out water bottles and looking after hit shields. Little did I know that it would turn out to be an all-encompassing role that would basically take over my life for 6 months. With that in mind, there's people that I really want to thank on behalf of the whole team. First of all, the coaches. Trap, it is you I have to blame for turning my life upside down over the last 6 months. You and your lovely wife. But thanks for giving me this role, mate. You deserve a huge amount of credit for everything you had on your plate this year. Raising a young family, coaching a first 15, supporting a high-profile and very successful coach whose trophy cabinet is overflowing. And a job that involved lots of travel. It became a running joke when I called you 2 or 3 times a week. I'd always ask you, where in the back end of Beyond are you today? And invariably you were indeed in the back end of Beyond, and that kind of illustrated what was on your plate every week. Dan, wherever he is, you and I go way back, mate. Your sister actually tells a story that she remembers the 2 of us practicing rugby commentaries in the living room of the Keno household at the top of Thames Highway. I have no memory of that at all, I don't know if you do. But here we are, rugby's still a big part of our life all those years later. Thank you for your endless good humour and your support, and for putting up with me with my regular visits to the hostel office 3 or 4 times a week. You are a Milner man through and through. Willie, where is he? Mate, I was actually hugely disappointed when I met you. I was expecting a professional rugby player that played halfback for the Blues and the Hurricanes, and instead I got a bloody concrete layer from Waitaki. But mate, I've really enjoyed getting to know you this year. A huge amount of respect for what you do. Your knowledge of rugby is incredible. I sincerely hope, now rugby season's over, you have time for that pie every day. As you know, I'm very concerned if you don't get your daily pie. Alistair Murdoch, he's sitting down the back there. The unsung hero, as we all know, in any rugby team is the medic. And Alistair, you've done a heck of a job as a strapper, a doctor, a counsellor, just a general support for the boys and us, so well done. You've been an exceptionally busy man yourself this year, obviously, with all the changes in your job. So we appreciate everything you did for the team. To all the parents, especially the parents who have come tonight, thank you for your constant support and your positive feedback. And I hope all 23 of our boys really appreciate everything you guys have done for the team in Waitaki Boys Rugby. And finally, and obviously most importantly, the boys. You're an interesting bunch. I can honestly say I don't always understand what you're saying. I'm still not sure what a hooger is, or who I should be using it to. And I still get very worried every time one of you says something is sick. And I worry I've done something wrong or there's some problem in your life. But thank you boys, thank you for making me feel part of this team. Thanks for representing that special jersey with pride every Saturday. And most of all, thank you for beating St Kevin's College 29-0. I do appreciate that. To the leavers, all the very best for next year. I know you'll all do well, and I know eventually you will realise what an honour it was to play for Waitaki Boys First 15. Please keep in touch. And to the rest of you, tonight marks the end of the 2017 season, and tomorrow marks the start of the 2018 season. There's 7 months until your next game. Don't waste a minute. We can't compete with powerhouse schools these days when it comes to size and depth, but we can match them for attitude, commitment and work rate. That's your task. Make sure you do that. And on that note, it's time to hear from one of those boys. Here is our captain, Paddy Hemlin.
Cheers, mates. Firstly, I'd like to start by thanking all the parents for travelling down here tonight for all the support you've given us throughout the year. It means a lot to the team. At the end of last year, Dan, Willie and Trap were given the task of coaching us this year. After countless hours that they've given up their own time to come to trainings and games, we can't thank you enough for the hard work that you've put into our team this year. There are a few people who do a lot of work for us but don't get any recognition. Alistair, you never fail to show up to our games to make sure us boys are fit and ready to go. After the hundreds of rolls of strapping tape you've used on us boys, I think the least we can do is say thank you. Meeks, the amount of work you do behind the scenes is incredible. From informing all the parents about what's happening every week to keeping track of tries, minutes and games played by every boy in the team, and even being just another mate to us. We can't thank you enough for everything you have done for us this year. Also a big thank you to Sonji and all the other parents who have helped out in all the after matches. Boys, this year we haven't had the greatest of seasons. We've had our ups and downs, but although we haven't played our full potential, we've definitely put some performance out there to be proud of, such as winning the blood match for the first time in 22 years with keeping St Kevin's to 0. Lastly, I'd like to wish all the Year 13s the best of luck for next year, and I look forward to catching up with you at some of our games. To the boys coming back next year, you've had a taste of what First 15 rugby is like now, and with the potential you've shown this year, I have full confidence in saying that next year will be our year. Thank you.
Trap, as we're well ahead of schedule, do you want to come and say your piece now?
Well, I can't guarantee I'm going to be as eloquent as Meeks was, as prepared as you were, Paddy. Well done, mate. But we'll give it a shot. Hey, just on behalf of myself and the coaching crew, again, welcome everyone tonight. I'm going to start a little bit differently. I'm going to go for the boys for a start and say, thanks for the year, guys. Yep, definitely, Paddy, ups and downs, mate. But that's life. Nothing's ever smooth sailing. We've scored some darn good tries. I was just actually having a look at a few there. Jacob Tuasani. It was a nice one against South Otago, mate. Still patting himself on the back, but throughout the year we saw some good performances. We've seen a lot of growth, from every individual, so that's really good. To the parents, that's the other side of things. It's really important. You guys, you give us your sons, I suppose, in some respects for 6 months of the year, but it's the pleasure we get out of it is actually seeing them as they are already. So that's probably credit to you guys, or it is credit to you guys. It's no one else. You've brought them up in the right ways to show respect and to work hard on and off the field. So pat on the back to all the parents. To Dan, Willie, coaching wise, thanks guys. It's been bloody good. We've had our moments where we've scratched our heads and thought, what do we do next? But again, I think we've enjoyed it. It's been a challenge, but again, those results at times have done good. There's always room to improve. To Alistair, thank you, mate. Paddy's right. Medic's unsung. He's the one there at 11 o'clock, strapping every day, every Saturday. Surprisingly, lots of kids need a bit of tape, but he's fantastic. He's got great knowledge, and he's kept guys on board all year. So again, thanks, Alistair. Great year. the last but not least, meets. Yep, we managed to persuade you. I'd like to say it was as much DK's fault as it was mine, but I'm sure everyone would agree you've been fantastic. For a guy who admitted at the start of the year you weren't sure and you said, look, I don't know anything about rugby, I think you're selling yourself short. You know a fair bit, but what you do know how to do is manage your team. And yeah, all the boys I'm sure would agree with me. You've done an exceptional job keeping people informed, keeping the continuity with the school. That's a tough part of what we do, but you've given yourself time away, obviously time with your family, but time with your job, which is a fairly big role in the community, and you've made our job a hell of a lot easier by doing what you do. So enjoy tonight, guys. As I said, it's been a great year in some respects. Next year can be better for you guys, but for those ones that are leaving, well done. Enjoy this, the rest of the year at school. But look forward to what you're doing in 2018. And for those guys back for next year, as Mick said, it starts tomorrow. If you want to be at the top, you've got to put the work in. So, but enjoy summer as well. That's what it's all about. Cool. Well done, guys.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Next, most tries. This boy scored 6 tries, including a very greedy 4 in one game. CO Typhoon. The final award in Dan's category is Try of the Year. We scored 51 tries this season. You will have seen some of the best on screen. This was really quite an easy decision, funnily enough. We can't remember if it was from 70 metres or 80 metres or possibly even 90 metres. But the Try of the Year was definitely scored in the King's High School Interschool, Sakiri Tebao. Thanks, Dan. Great job. The next 3, can I invite Willie Dighton, please? So these 3 awards are quite special. They're our Players' Player Awards. Just hold on to those, Willie. We asked all 23 players to vote for their top 3 players of the season. And eventually all 23 did vote. So we just tallied up the results. And we've got 3 awards to give out. Third place was a newcomer to the team this year, a boy who made great strides. We look forward to seeing him in a black jersey next year, Tonga Malafu. Second place, an outstanding young forward and a very promising leader of men, Paddy Hemwood. And the Players' Player of the Year, potentially the most significant award this evening as it's voted for by his peers. 11 boys gave this boy their number 1 vote, and 6 more gave him their number 2 vote. I don't think it'll be a huge shock when I reveal that the Players' Player of the Year is Pete Armstrong. Well, Pete, thank you, Willie. Great job. This next one is all mine to present. It's a Manager's Award that I thought about a few weeks ago and hummed hard, but I decided to do it. I really wanted to recognise somebody who'd missed out on one of the top awards, but who was still a vital member of the team on and off the field. This boy showed a ton of heart every week. He was a pleasure to deal with, and he always went the extra mile off the field. So the first Manager's Award goes to Thomas Hunt. And finally, Hamish McKenzie, if you could come up. So our three major awards, and these were decided by the coaches, and they were all pretty much unanimous. First of all, most promising. This player appeared in 5 different jerseys this season, and impressed with his speed, his ball skills and his attitude. Sio, come up again. Next award is for outstanding service to the first 15, and a really tough call when you consider we had no fewer than 3 boys earn their 50th cap this season. This player had an exceptional attitude and work rate. He was versatile, he was very talented. He can certainly look back with pride on his schoolboy rugby career. So the service award goes to Mason Kinzer. And finally, the top award for the evening, the Player of the Season for 2017, again chosen by the coaches, and it was quite a comfortable unanimous choice. This player started in a crucial position in 14 of our 16 games. The only thing that could stop him was a pesky chest infection. He's very talented, he's very strong, he's an exceptional rugby player, and he's an exceptional Waitakian. Peter Armstrong. Well done, boys. Could you show a round of applause, please? And soon, I think, dessert will be served.